everyone. Welcome to ABC Interactive English. This is Karen.
And I'm Matt.
Today we're looking at part 1 of doing the shopping. And speaking of doing the shopping, we're going to the supermarket later. But wait a second, I need to find my shopping bag, okay? I have my purse, I just need to look for it. Give me 1 minute.
You really need your shopping bag?
Yes, we're going to the supermarket to do some shopping. We need a bag. It's not here. It's a little bit messy.
This is taking a long time.
Ugh.
You know, time is money, and those bags only cost $2 at the supermarket.
Matt, this is not about the money, okay? This is bad for our environment. Okay, hold on a second. Let me find my bag. I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
You find it yet?
No, I got some tissue. I got umbrella. I can't find it.
All right, well, I might have to go to the supermarket without you.
Oh, wait, no. You have to wait for me. But before I do that, I have to go home and get my shopping bag, okay? Promise you'll wait for me?
Okay.
Just give me 1 hour. 1 hour.
Really? 1 hour?
I'll be back. 1 hour.
I'm
Matt,
timing.
don't go.
I'm timing you.
Miriam and Wilbur are in the produce section.
You're the vegetable expert. Is this head of lettuce okay to buy?
It's nice and heavy, and there are no brown spots on the leaves, so yes.
So we're looking at part 1 of doing the shopping today, and we have this dialogue between Miriam and Wilbur. Miriam and Wilbur are in the produce section. Wait a minute. In the produce section? What's produce?
Produce means things like fruits and vegetables and things that are grown on a farm usually.
Oh, but the word I'm looking at, produce, it looks like the word produce, like the verb, right?
That's right. It's a bit tricky. When we use it as a noun, it's produce, but the verb, which is spelled exactly the same, is produce. Produce.
That's right. So sometimes you have to read the whole sentence in order to know how to pronounce it, right?
We could even say farms produce produce.
That's right. Very good example. And the next vocabulary word we have is section. And section is a noun. So section in the supermarket basically just means different parts, right? So if we're going to the produce section, you can see a lot of produce like vegetables and fruits. If you're going to for example, the dairy section, you'll see milk and yogurt and such, right?
That's right.
So in the supermarket, we have so many different sections, and depending on what you want to buy, you can decide which section you want to go to, right?
That's right.
Okay, so I'll be Miriam and you can be Wilbur.
For
All
sure.
right? Okay. So Miriam says, you're the vegetable expert. Is this head of lettuce okay to buy?
Okay, so our first vocabulary word there is expert. So she says that he is a vegetable expert. An expert is someone who knows a lot about a certain subject or a category of things. So in this case, he knows a lot about vegetables, means he's a vegetable expert.
How about you? Are you an expert in anything? Football?
Yeah, I think I'm an expert on football maybe. It's a good...
I would say so, because last time you did a lot of tricks, right?
Oh, right.
I remember. Okay, and the next vocabulary word we have is lettuce, and lettuce is a noun. And lettuce is a kind of vegetable that we can buy at the supermarket. And a lot of people eat lettuce when they're eating salad, right?
That's
so
right.
a lot of times you don't need to cook it. You kind of just make sure that you wash it, it's clean, and then you can eat it right away. And they mention a head of lettuce. That's kind of like how you count lettuce, right?
That's right. It says lettuce is an uncountable noun. So to make it one thing of lettuce, we need to say a head of lettuce.
That's right.
We also use some other body parts for vegetables. Do you know?
Body parts? What do
Right.
you mean?
Would you eat an ear?
No, I would never eat an ear. Are you crazy?
Well, how about an ear of corn?
That's how we count corn, right?
That's
A ear
right.
of corn. And it's spelled the same way, right?
It is, exactly.
That is so funny. Okay, and Wilbur continues the dialogue by saying,
Okay, Wilbur says, it's nice and heavy, and there are no brown spots on the leaves. So yes.
Okay.
Brown is, of course, a color, and it's a color that it's an adjective to describe the color of things like coffee, tea, dirt and mud.
That's right.
And the spots on vegetables sometimes.
Exactly. Do you like the color brown?
It's not my favorite color, but a nice pair of brown shoes.
Yeah, that's right. I love like brown purses or brown shoes or sometimes jackets. Okay, and the next vocabulary word we have is leaf. And leaf is a noun, and that's a part that we can see on the vegetable and sometimes on trees too, right? And sometimes in the fall, you can see the leaves changing colors. You can see the leaves changing red or orange or yellow when the seasons are changing.
And eventually brown.
Exactly. So we learn, like some things about the vegetables and shopping at the supermarket. When you go to the supermarket, are you a big fan of vegetables? Do you buy vegetables?
I do. I buy a lot of vegetables. I like to cook with vegetables and sometimes eat them without even cooking them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that you cook. Next time, maybe you can cook a nice dish for me.
We'll see. Not if I have to wait too long for you.
Okay, but let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
All right. Bye.
Great. It's going in my shopping basket.
Why don't you use a shopping cart? It's easier than carrying that.
It's fine. I'm only getting a few items today.
You said that last time. Then you remembered you had to get a bunch of canned goods.
Don't worry. I have a list this time.
Okay, if you say so.
Welcome back. So we just learned that Miriam and Wilbur are in the supermarket doing some grocery shopping, and right now they're in the produce section.
And we know that Wilbur is the vegetable expert, right? And they wanted to buy a head of lettuce. Okay, so Miriam continues by saying, "Great, it's going in my shopping basket."
And Wilbur says, "Why don't you use a shopping cart? It's easier than carrying that."
Oh, I have to agree with Wilbur. When you go into the supermarket, when you do your shopping, Matt, do you usually use a shopping basket or do you use a shopping cart?
I usually use a shopping basket.
Really? Why?
Because I don't buy very many things every time I go to the supermarket.
Oh, okay. I always use the shopping cart. And actually, shopping cart is one of the vocabulary words today. What's a shopping cart?
That's right. So a shopping cart is like a big shopping basket that's on wheels that you can push through the supermarket.
That's right. And you don't have to carry any weight on your body. So I always choose that shopping cart. Okay, so Miriam continues by saying, "It's fine. I'm only getting a few items today." Item is our next vocabulary word, and that is a noun. So when you're talking about item, that just means the things that you're going to buy. So you can say that I'm going to the supermarket and I'm going to buy only 5 items today. That means you're only buying 5 things today.
Do you need a shopping cart if you just have 5 items?
Yes, I do. I don't like to carry anything in my hands. Okay, and Wilbur continues by saying,
"You said that last time. Then you remembered you had to get a bunch of canned goods." So he got a bunch. Last time she got a bunch of canned goods. So a bunch is our next vocabulary word. And a bunch of something means anywhere between a few and many things. So it's usually, we don't use that for 1 or 2 things, but more than that, we can say a bunch of things. In this case, a bunch of canned goods.
and what are canned goods?
Well, canned goods means that they come in a can.
Ah,
So-
anything that's packaged in a can,
That's
right?
right. And so those can be heavy, and that's why Wilbur is suggesting that maybe she wants to get a shopping cart because with a bunch of canned goods, it's going to be heavy.
You're right. Okay, and Miriam continues by saying, "Don't worry, I have a list this time."
Wilbur says, "Okay, if you say so."
I have a list this time, and list is our next vocabulary word, and that is a noun. And I think making a list is very important when you go to the supermarket. So a list means that like maybe you write it on a piece of paper or jot it down on your phone. You write down the things that you are planning to buy. Like for example, I want to buy some lettuce, I want to buy some broccoli, I want to buy some milk, and that would be on my list. So when I go to the supermarket, I'm not going to forget anything that I was going to buy.
That's useful, I think.
Yeah, how about you, Matt? When you go shopping at the supermarket, do you usually make a shopping list before you go in?
I usually don't, and I really think I should more often.
And why is that?
Because many times I'll go to the supermarket with a plan just to buy one thing. And then when I get home, I realize I forgot the one thing that I went there to buy.
But you bought a bunch of other things.
That's right, I have a bunch of other things, and I still don't have any milk.
So that's why I always make a shopping list before I go into the supermarket. So I know exactly what I want to buy. And sometimes I will even bring a pen with me to check it off.
So you mentioned you always get a shopping cart. So do you go to the supermarket often?
Quite often.
Quite often. Okay.
I love shopping for food. So when I go to the supermarket, other than going to the produce section to get vegetables and fruits, which is really healthy for my body, I also go to the snack section.
Oh, the snack section.
And I get a lot of snack.
Yeah, that always gets me too, because they always put it right near the place where you need to pay.
Exactly. And you just grab like a box of chocolate, or you get some candy or something like that, right?
That's right.
It's always fun to shop at the supermarket though, and that's all the time we have for today.
Okay,
right?
That's great. So we'll see you next time.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Miriam and Wilbur are in the produce section.
You're the vegetable expert. Is this head of lettuce okay to buy?
It's nice and heavy, and there are no brown spots on the leaves, so yes.
Great. It's going in my shopping basket.
Why don't you use a shopping cart? It's easier than carrying that.
It's fine. I'm only getting a few items today.
You said that last time. Then you remembered you had to get a bunch of canned goods.
Don't worry. I have a list this time.
Okay, if you say so.
Hello， 大家好，我是维尼。今天来看看这一课的单字文法。今天的第一个字是 section， 名词，区域或是区块。The library has a large section of comic books。图书馆里呢有一个很大的漫画书区域。第二个字是 lettuce， 名词，生菜或是莴苣。I like to have lettuce as my salad base。我喜欢用生菜作为我的沙拉基底。接着是 brown 形容词，褐色的、棕色的。I want to buy this brown coat。我想买这件咖啡色的大衣。最后这个字是 leaf 名词，叶子，它的复数为 leaves。There are almost no leaves on this tree。这棵树上几乎没有叶子了。接下来看一下有哪些生活用语。第一个用语是 do the shopping， 采买或是购物。do the 加 VING 表示做某事。常见的用法还有 do the cooking 做料理，或是 do the cleaning 打扫等等。If you want to cook tonight, I can do the shopping for you。如果你今天想要做菜的话，我可以去采买食材。第二个片语 a head 或是 a bunch of 加名词一颗什么什么或是一堆什么什么。head 呢在此为蔬菜的结球。Bunch 指的是一堆的物品或是一群人，可以说 I need a head of lettuce for the salad。我需要一颗生菜来做沙拉，或是 There are a bunch of kids in the park。在公园里有一堆小孩子。最后一个片语是 If you say so， 你说了算，或是随便你。用于不想再与对方争辩的情形之下。比方说呢，假设你今天看到你朋友心情不太好，你去问他说 Hey, are you okay? 嗨，你还好吗？然后你的朋友回答你说 I'm fine， 我没事。 那你就默默的说 OK, if you say so. 好吧，你说了算。下次见喽。
The Human Cultures Hall covers the development of human culture. For example, exhibits teach visitors about the Stone Age, agricultural societies, and early Chinese technology and medicine. You can learn about lots of amazing inventions, too. The hall has many large exhibits, including copies of the Rainbow Bridge from the Chinese painting along the river during the Qingming Festival, the South-Pointing Chariot, and Qin Shi Huang's Terracotta Army. You can also take a look at the interesting spiderweb ceiling. To better understand Aboriginal culture, you can check out models such as the stone slab houses and traditional fishing boats. Exhibits that explain Chinese medicine, herbs, and acupuncture are popular with international visitors as well. The water-powered Armillary and Celestial Tower is at the entrance to the Human Cultures Hall. The large clock tower has two purposes. It helped people look more closely at the sky and told them the time. This tower was rebuilt using the drawings scientists made in the Northern Song Dynasty. It gets its power from water. Small dolls tell people the time by ringing bells, hitting gongs, or beating drums. The design shows how advanced Chinese engineering was long ago. Even modern-day watches and clocks use similar designs.
See you next time!